All right, so ready to dive into the world of stagecraft. We're going to help you get ready for that stagehand interview. We've got some awesome resources from RoleCatcher. Their career guides, interview guides, even their AI tools. Let's get you prepped and ready to go from nervous applicant to confident stagehand.
Yeah, what's really cool about this field is that stagehands are really the heartbeat of live performance.
Mm.
Without them, the curtain wouldn't rise, the lights wouldn't come on, the music wouldn't swell. They're really the force that makes the magic happen behind the
It's
scenes.
not just moving boxes around, is it? The RoleCatcher's guides, they paint a really dynamic picture. You're working with the scenery, the lights, the sound, sometimes even special effects.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a really hands-on job, and the work environment is really dynamic too. You could be in theaters, concert halls, maybe even traveling with a production. Of course, it can be demanding, long hours, physically demanding work, and the pressure of live shows. But for those who thrive in this environment, it's incredibly rewarding.
So let's get you ready to show them that you are one of those people who thrive in this kind of environment. We're going to dive into some common interview questions that we pulled from RoleCatcher's guides. But instead of just giving you the answers, we're going to help you craft your own responses, like a little backstage brainstorming session. Ready for the first one?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Okay. What inspired you to pursue a career as a stagehand?
Hmm.
Now, they're not just looking for a job history here, are they?
No, definitely not. This question is all about passion, so think back to what sparked your interest in this field. Was it a specific show that just blew you away, the set design, the lighting cues, or maybe you were always the one tinkering with lights and sound, in school or at community events?
And I think this is where RoleCatcher's AI can come in handy. You can personalize that inspiration. So let's say you're interviewing for a theater company, and they're known for their innovative set designs. Your answer should really highlight your interest in set design.
Exactly. Show them you've done your research and that you're genuinely excited about their work. And, they might even ask you a follow-up question like, what do you admire about our company's productions? So be ready to talk about a specific show that resonated with you.
Okay, so next question. What experience do you have in setting up and breaking down sets and equipment? What if you're just starting out and you don't have a resume full of Broadway credits?
That's totally fine. Even if you don't have a ton of stagehand experience, you can still highlight transferable skills. Have you worked on construction projects? At shows that you can follow instructions and handle tools. What about organizing events? That shows you have organizational skills and logistical skills.
So it's about connecting those dots for them. And RoleCatcher's AI can actually analyze those job descriptions to help you pull out those relevant skills. So for example, if the job description emphasizes teamwork, you can talk about a time when you collaborated on a complex project, even if it wasn't in theater.
Exactly. Tailoring your answer to their specific needs is so important. And they might even ask you something like, tell me about a time you worked effectively as part of a team. So have an example ready that showcases your collaboration skills and your communication skills.
All right, question number 3. How do you ensure that all equipment and props are properly maintained and repaired as needed? This one feels like they're trying to see how responsible you are.
It is. They're definitely looking for attention to detail and a proactive approach. Walk them through your process. How do you do regular inspections? How do you do routine maintenance tasks? What about troubleshooting minor repairs?
Yeah, and if you have any specific experience with certain tools or techniques, mention those. Like you could say, I'm familiar with using a multimeter to test electrical equipment, or I'm proficient in different cable wrapping techniques to prevent damage and ensure safety.
Yes, those details show that you're serious about the craft. And don't be afraid to share how you stay organized. Do you use checklists? Do you use any digital tools? A good follow-up question they might ask is, what systems do you use to track equipment maintenance?
Okay, next question is a scenario-based question. Can you describe a time when you had to troubleshoot a technical issue during a live performance? I feel like this is every stagehand's worst nightmare.
Yeah, it can be a really high-pressure situation, but it's also a great chance to show off your problem-solving skills and how you can stay calm under pressure. So think of a situation where you quickly identified the issue, you thought on your feet, and you found a solution, even if it wasn't in a theater setting.
This is where I think RoleCatcher's AI can be really helpful. It can analyze that anecdote that you're thinking of and suggest ways to frame it, to really highlight specific skills like adaptability or quick thinking.
Exactly, and they might follow up with something like, what steps did you take to make sure the problem didn't happen again?
Hmm.
So show them that you learn from your experiences and that you take preventative measures.
Okay, question 5 is all about safety. How do you ensure that all safety protocols are followed during a performance?
This is a big one in stagecraft. You really want to show them that you know the common safety protocols. Things like using personal protective equipment, proper lifting techniques, stage rigging practices. If you have any training or certifications, mention that too.
And this is where I think RoleCatcher's AI can provide some really helpful industry-specific insights. You can look at safety regulations for specific job roles and even suggest certifications you might want to pursue to really enhance your qualifications.
Absolutely. A potential follow-up question could be, how would you handle a situation where a colleague wasn't following safety protocols? This is a chance to show your commitment to safety, but also your ability to communicate effectively and address concerns professionally.
All right, let's move on to question 6. How do you prioritize tasks when there are multiple demands on your time during a performance?
So time management and organization are essential skills for any stagehand. The interviewer wants to know that you can handle the fast-paced world of live performance. So think about a time you had to juggle a bunch of different things, maybe during a tech rehearsal or a complex scene change.
And RoleCatcher's AI can help you structure your answer to highlight your ability to assess priorities, delegate tasks, and stay calm under pressure.
Exactly. And they might ask you, what strategies do you use to stay organized and make sure nothing falls through the cracks? So think about specific techniques you use, like checklists, task management apps, or communicating clearly with your team.
Okay, question 7. How do you stay up to date with current industry trends and developments? Are they expecting you to know about every new lighting gadget that comes out?
Not necessarily. It's more about showing that you're passionate about learning and staying current. So mention any industry publications or websites that you follow, theater associations that you're a part of, maybe any workshops you've attended.
And RoleCatcher can be a great resource for that too, connecting you with relevant articles, online communities, even suggesting courses to expand your skill set.
Absolutely. And here's a great tip for connecting this back to the company you're interviewing with. You could say, I'm really interested in mention a specific trend that's related to the company's work. How does your company approach that trend? It shows that you're engaged and eager to learn from their expertise.
Okay, we're on a roll here. Question 8 gets a little more into the interpersonal side of things. Can you describe a time when you had to work with a difficult or demanding performer or director?
Yes, the delicate art of navigating personalities. This isn't about complaining, though. It's about showcasing your diplomacy and your professionalism. Briefly describe a situation that was challenging, but focus on what you did to maintain a positive working relationship.
And RoleCatcher's AI can be really helpful with this too. It can look at your anecdote and suggest ways to rephrase it so that you're emphasizing your conflict resolution skills and your ability to stay calm when things get a little tense.
Yes, and a potential follow-up question could be, how would you handle a situation where a director's vision conflicted with safety regulations? This is a great opportunity to demonstrate that you prioritize safety, but you can also do it without compromising the artistic vision of the production.
Okay, next question. How do you handle a situation where a performance is not going as planned? We're talking live performance here. Things are bound to go wrong sometimes.
Exactly. They want to know that you can think on your feet and adapt to those unexpected challenges. Choose a story that shows off your quick thinking and problem-solving skills, even if it wasn't specifically a stagehand situation.
Again, this is where RoleCatcher's AI can help tailor your response to the job description. So did they mention that they need someone who can work independently? Highlight a time when you took initiative and solved a problem without needing constant supervision.
That's a good point. And they might follow up with, how do you communicate those unexpected issues to the stage manager or technical director? This is about staying calm, assessing the situation, and communicating clearly under pressure.
Okay, last question in this set. How do you handle feedback or criticism from supervisors or colleagues? No one likes to be criticized, but it's part of any job, right?
Absolutely. What they're really looking for here is, are you willing to learn and grow? So show them that you're open to feedback, whether it's positive or constructive.
Yeah, and RoleCatcher's AI can help you frame this in a positive light. Instead of focusing on the criticism itself, highlight how you use that feedback to improve your skills or your approach.
Exactly. They might ask, can you give me an example of a time you received feedback and how you applied it? So have a specific example ready that shows you can take feedback and use it to grow professionally.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here. You've tackled some of the toughest stagehand interview questions, and we've talked about how to use RoleCatcher's AI to craft responses that really shine.
That's right. But remember, this is just the beginning. The world of stagecraft is full of exciting opportunities for growth and learning, and we'll explore those next.
Okay, so now that we've gone over some of those common interview questions, let's zoom out a little bit and look at the bigger picture. You know your stagehand career, because getting the job is just the first step.
Right. But where does the career path actually go from there? Is it like you start as a stagehand and then you become a senior stagehand and that's it?
No, not really. RoleCatcher's career guides actually do a nice job of breaking down the different stages. From those entry-level roles to more specialized positions, kind of like a backstage ladder, with each rung being like a higher level of expertise and responsibility.
So let's say I land that stagehand job. What would be like the next step up?
Well, you might move into a role like assistant stage manager or a stage carpenter, where you'd focus on set construction and rigging. From there, you could specialize even further, like becoming a master carpenter, a lighting technician, even a sound engineer. Wow, okay, so there's more variety than I thought. And RoleCatcher has actual profiles of people in these roles in their guides.
They do. It's pretty cool. You get to see what their day-to-day looks like, the paths they took, the skills they had to develop, the challenges they faced, the rewards they've gotten.
Okay, that's awesome. So how do you actually climb that ladder then? Is it all about experience?
Experience definitely plays a big role, but it's not the only thing. RoleCatcher's guides talk a lot about showcasing your skills, continuous learning, and of course, networking.
Showcasing skills, how do you even do that when it's such a hands-on field like stagecraft?
That's a great question. Document your work. Take pictures and videos of the sets you've helped build, the lighting rigs you've designed, the sound systems you've operated. Create a portfolio that really shows off your skills and what you've accomplished.
Oh, that's such a good idea. And this is where I'm thinking RoleCatcher's AI can help too, right? Can it analyze your portfolio and pick out the skills that match certain job descriptions?
Absolutely, it can. And when it comes to continuous learning, RoleCatcher can actually connect you with relevant courses, workshops, online resources. You got to keep learning in this industry. It's constantly changing. New technologies, new techniques popping up all the time.
So it's like having a mentor backstage guiding you along the way. Okay, what about networking? Is it just going to industry events and handing out business cards?
Networking is more about building those real relationships, you know? Join theater associations, volunteer at local productions, connect with people online. Those connections can turn into mentorships, freelance gigs, even full-time positions.
And I think RoleCatcher has a whole section on their platform for networking too, connecting you with other professionals, industry events, job boards, all that good stuff.
They do. It's like a virtual backstage community where you can connect with people who get it, share your knowledge, find new opportunities.
Okay, this is all super helpful.
Yeah.
But let's circle back to those AI tools for a sec. We talk about how they can tailor your resume and cover letter, but what else can they do to help you stand out in such a competitive field?
Well, imagine having an AI that can actually read those job descriptions and pick out those keywords and skills that employers are looking for. And then it suggests ways to incorporate those keywords into your application, which makes your resume way more likely to be seen by recruiters and those applicant tracking systems.
Okay, so it's like a secret weapon. What about all those interview questions? They have like 120,000 of them, right? How can AI help with that?
RoleCatcher's AI is pretty amazing. It can look at those questions, find common themes, and suggest the best approach for answering each type. It can even give you feedback on your practice answers, helping you polish what you're going to say and how you're going to say it.
It's like a virtual interview coach in your pocket.
Yeah.
But does it feel a little impersonal? You know? Like a robot's prepping me for my dream job.
No, not at all. It's more like a co-pilot. It gives you those insights and that support, but ultimately it's your experiences and your skills that are going to shine through. The AI is just helping you present them in the best way possible.
So it's using technology to help you, not to replace you. And speaking of that human element, you mentioned a final thought that goes beyond the job hunt.
Yes. As you're going through this whole stagehand journey, it's important to remember why you were drawn to this in the first place. What kind of magic do you want to create? What stories do you want to help tell?
Right. It's about finding that deeper purpose.
Yeah.
That thing that makes it more than just a job. It's about being a part of something bigger, contributing your talents to create those experiences that move people.
Exactly. And with the right resources and a little help from AI, you can turn that passion into a really fulfilling career.
This has been such an amazing deep dive into stagecraft. We've covered so much, from interview prep to career growth, and of course how RoleCatcher's AI can be your backstage path to success.
It's true. But remember, the journey doesn't stop here. The world of stagecraft is constantly changing and growing. There are always new opportunities to explore.
So stay curious, keep learning. And don't be afraid to try new things. Who knows, you might discover a new passion, a hidden talent, or even a role you never knew existed.
That's right. And as you step onto that stage, whether it's behind the curtain or in the spotlight, embrace the unexpected, the challenges, the triumphs.
Because it's those moments, those unscripted detours, that often lead to the most rewarding discoveries. It's really amazing to see how much passion goes into those seamless, magical moments we see on stage.
Yeah, it's incredible. And what's really cool is that same level of passion and precision goes beyond the stage, too.
Yeah.
It's in the tools and the resources that support this whole industry.
And speaking of tools, RoleCatcher has really been our backstage companion throughout this whole deep dive.
Yeah.
And we've just scratched the surface of what their platform offers.
That's true. We've been focusing on the interview guides and the AI. But they have a whole ecosystem designed to help stagehands at every point in their career.
So walk me through it. What else does RoleCatcher bring to the table?
Okay, so imagine you're just starting out on your stagehand journey. RoleCatcher has a job search planner to keep you organized, an employer database to help you research different companies, and even a course repository to help you build your skills.
So it's like a one-stop shop for launching your career. But what about when you've got some experience under your belt and you're ready for that next step?
RoleCatcher's got you covered there, too. Their platform has a CV and resume builder that'll help you create really professional-looking documents that highlight all your awesome qualifications.
Oh, that's so helpful. It can be really tough to make a good resume, especially in a hands-on field like stagecraft.
I know, right? And their AI features can actually analyze job descriptions and then tailor your application so that it matches what they're looking for. It's like having a personal career assistant working behind the scenes to make you stand out.
Okay, that's pretty awesome. But what about the interviews? Those can be nerve-wracking. We talked about how the AI can analyze questions and give you feedback. Is there anything else to help calm those pre-interview jitters?
For sure. RoleCatcher has this huge library of over 120,000 practice interview questions, all categorized by career and skill.
Wow, 120,000, that's a lot of questions.
It is, but it makes sense. Each area of stagecraft has its own set of challenges and skills.
Right, of course.
And you can use their video practice feature to rehearse your answers and get AI feedback on how you sound and what you're saying.
So it's like having a virtual mock interview with an expert. So it seems like whether you're just starting out or you're looking to move up in your career, RoleCatcher really does offer this incredible support system.
They do, and what's really impressive is how they've combined this cutting-edge technology with a re-understanding of what it means to be a human in this industry.
It's that balance of innovation and empathy that makes them so unique. So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the key takeaway for someone who wants to be a stagehand?
I think the biggest thing is that the entertainment industry is constantly changing and growing, and there's a place for everyone in it, whether you love the technical side of lighting or the creative side of sound design or the artistry of set building. There's a path out there for you.
And with resources like RoleCatcher, you'll have what you need to navigate that path. With confidence, passion, and a little bit of AI magic.
Remember your passion. Your hard work and your willingness to learn will take you far. Embrace the tough stuff, celebrate the wins, and never stop exploring the possibilities of this amazing field.
This deep dive into the world of stagecraft has been a blast. We've learned so much, from how to ace those interviews to how technology can help you build a fulfilling career behind the scenes.
It's been great. And as you step onto that stage, whether you're behind the curtain or in the spotlight, remember that the magic of theater comes from everyone working together.
So embrace your role, share your talents, and let's create something truly spectacular. And don't forget, RoleCatcher is there to help you every step of the way.
Break a leg, everyone.
That's all for this episode of The Deep Doc. We'll see you next time as we explore another fascinating career.